When you think about Russia's greatest rivals, you might first picture the United States or the European Union, often seen in the headlines battling Moscow over military, political, and trade issues. Another quieter country is rising on the world stage: Canada. Most people see Canada as calm and peaceful, but it's slowly becoming more important in one of the world's most valuable regions, the Arctic. As the ice melts and the climate changes, the Arctic is opening up. It's no longer just a frozen, empty place. Now it holds new shipping routes, huge amounts of oil and gas, and a chance to reshape global trade. Canada's position in this icy region is giving it more power than ever before. And some countries, including Russia, are starting to notice the Arctic's explosive potential, why Russia wants it. A few decades ago, the Arctic was seen as a cold space. It was too frozen, too dangerous, and too far to matter. But today, that has completely changed. Thanks to climate change, the ice in the Arctic is melting faster than ever before. Every year, more open water is revealed. This isn't just a problem for the environment. It's also opening new opportunities. Opportunities for shipping, oil drilling, gas extraction, and mining. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the Arctic may hold about 13% of the world's undiscovered oil and 30% of its natural gas. That's enough to power entire countries for decades. And that's why Russia wants the Arctic so severely. Russia controls about half of the Arctic coastline, and its entire economic future is linked to this region. Oil and gas exports comprise over 40% of Russia's federal budget. That means the Russian economy could collapse if those resources disappear or fall into someone else's hands. Russia has been making considerable investments in the Arctic to protect its future. It has built over 50 icebreakers, including the world's most powerful nuclear-powered ones. It has reopened old Soviet military bases and built new ones across the region. It's even tested hypersonic missiles in Arctic waters. Why is Russia doing all of this? It wants complete control of the Arctic, especially the trade routes. One of Russia's biggest goals is to replace traditional routes like the Suez Canal. Now, ships from Europe to Asia travel through the Mediterranean Sea, the Suez Canal, and the Indian Ocean. But this route is long and expensive. If Russia could control Arctic shipping lanes, like the Northern Sea Route, it would cut travel time by almost 40%. That would save billions of dollars and make Russia the center of global trade. Canada's sovereignty, the roadblock to Russia's Arctic dreams. Canada has long claimed parts of the Arctic, but these claims didn't matter for years. The region was too cold and remote and buried under thick ice. But that's changing fast. As the ice melts, Canada's once-forgotten north becomes a global hotspot. Canada holds the second-largest Arctic territory after Russia, but its real power lies in the Northwest Passage. This sea route cuts through Canada's Arctic islands. For centuries, it was blocked by ice, but now rising temperatures are making it navigable. If fully opened, it could become one of the world's most important trade routes, linking Europe and Asia faster and cheaper than ever before. Canada insists this waterway is part of its internal waters, meaning it controls who can pass. However, the US sees it as international, and Russia disagrees. Russia recently tried to expand its Arctic claims to overlap with Canada's. And that's the heart of the issue. If Canada holds firm, it can block Russia from key trade routes and natural resources, putting Moscow's Arctic dreams in danger. Quietly and firmly, Canada is standing in the way of Russia's future. The strategic Northwest Passage, the ultimate prize. The Northwest Passage, once buried under thick ice, is finally opening due to global warming. It's not just a new route, it's power. Running through Canada's Arctic islands, the Northwest Passage offers the shortest path between Europe and Asia, saving thousands of kilometers compared to the Suez Canal. That means less fuel, time, and money, making it a key prize in the Arctic race. Russia already has plans for the Arctic, focusing on the Northern Sea Route, but thick ice still requires Russian icebreakers and military escorts. The The Northwest Passage, however, is shorter, smoother, and crosses vital trade routes. If Canada controls it, it can decide who passes, which would pose a significant problem for Russia. Russia's economy relies on Arctic oil, gas, and trade routes, and without the Northwest Passage, Russia's plans were blocked. The Arctic is also rich in resources. More than 90 billion barrels of oil and trillions of cubic meters of natural gas. If Canada claimed these, Russia would be locked out, limiting its future. Canada, usually quiet in global politics, becomes Russia's biggest obstacle. In the Arctic, geography is power, and Canada holds the keys. The Arctic race. Who will win? Right now, the world is watching a new kind of arms race. But it's not about missiles or nuclear bombs. It's about who controls the ice, the water, and the oil. Russia is not the only country racing for a slice of the Arctic. China has declared itself a near-Arctic state, investing billions in Arctic science, ports, and research stations. Norway, Denmark, through Greenland, and the United States also watched closely. But among all these players, Canada has something the others don't: a strategic position. Canada doesn't need to build icebreakers to access the Arctic. It already lives there, and its indigenous communities, military bases, and research posts are scattered across its northern lands. Canada also has legal claims backed by international agreements like the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, to strengthen its position. If Canada sticks to its claims and invests in Arctic infrastructure, it could control the future of Arctic trade. That means ships, resources, and influence would all pass through Canadian waters, giving Canada incredible leverage over Russia and the world. The US factor. Can Canada count on its neighbor? But here's where things get tricky. Canada may have strong claims over the Arctic, but can't defend them alone. The Arctic is massive, and patrolling it is difficult and expensive. That's why Canada relies on its biggest ally, the United States. However, not everything is friendly, especially regarding the Northwest Passage. The US does not recognize Canada's territorial claim that the Northwest Passage is part of its internal waters. America sees it as an international strait that should be open to all ships, including its military and commercial vessels. This disagreement has been going on for decades. While the two countries cooperate in many areas, this issue has never been resolved. Here's where it gets dangerous. What if the US and Russia both want the Northwest Passage to be international? What if, for global trade interests, they both agree that Canada shouldn't control it? It might sound strange, but in geopolitics, strange alliances can happen. Canada could be odd if Russia and the US ever find common ground over Arctic trade. The same country it depends on for defense might suddenly become a rival. That would leave Canada in a tough spot, caught between two superpowers with enormous military and economic pressure. So, while Canada looks strong on paper, it faces real risks. Both friend and foe could challenge its claims. Canada's diplomatic role, a geopolitical power broker. But Canada isn't just waiting to see what happens. It's playing the long game, using diplomacy to build its strength. Canada is one of the founding members of the Arctic Council, which includes all Arctic nations, including Russia and the US. Through this council, Canada pursues its goals, builds alliances, and promotes peaceful cooperation in the Arctic. It has also increased its presence in international forums and backed scientific research missions in the Arctic. These missions don't just gather data, they also strengthen legal claims over Arctic territory. In recent years, Canada has started to increase funding for military operations in the north. It's investing in Arctic radar systems, patrol aircraft, and naval upgrades, primarily through joint missions with the US under NORAD, North American Aerospace Defense Command. And Canada is not alone. Countries like Sweden, Finland, and Germany want to collaborate with Canada in the Arctic. If enough people worldwide support Canada's position, it will be harder for Russia, or even the US, to challenge it. In this way, Canada is becoming a geopolitical power broker. It's not just defending its territory, it's shaping the future of the Arctic. The future of the Arctic, Will Canada hold its ground? The next few decades will decide everything. As climate change accelerates, the Arctic will continue to melt. That means more water, trade routes, and access to hidden treasures. But it also means more tension. Russia will continue building its Arctic empire. China will keep investing in the region. The US will protect its trade interests. And Canada will have to defend what it believes is rightfully its own. However, defending territory in the Arctic is not just about ships and soldiers. It's about building alliances, investing in research, protecting the environment, and supporting indigenous communities who have lived in the Arctic for thousands of years. The real question is, can Canada do it? The world's second-largest country has the chance to shape the future of one of Earth's most valuable regions. But to succeed, it must be smart, united, and prepared for challenges, from rivals like Russia and unexpected moves by allies like the United States. So why is Canada Russia's greatest threat? Because it holds the one thing Russia wants the most: the key to the Arctic. It controls the Northwest Passage, has massive oil and gas reserves, and has strong legal and geographic claims that block Russia's Arctic expansion. If Canada keeps control of the Arctic, Russia's dreams of global shipping power and economic growth could be frozen forever. In this icy battle for control, the quiet northern neighbors may just turn out to be the most dangerous one. Because sometimes the most significant threats don't shout, they simply stand in the way. And that's it for today's deep dive. The Arctic might seem far away, but we all need to keep an eye on its impact on global politics and the future of trade. Do you think Canada can hold its ground against Russia? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the world's biggest geopolitical stories. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.